Hello all, Casual Noob Gamer back at you with another video. Oh yeah. This is going to be something I'm going to do because every Saturday for many years now, I have been watching the Spawncast, which is on at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I watch it pretty much every Saturday. And as a member of their Patreon, lately they used to do it every week. They would allow you to submit one question. It used to be on their Discord. Now it is directly through Patreon, but it's only when maybe John either remembers to put the post up or maybe he just doesn't want to deal with it because, they have to go through the questions, and a lot of times I know a lot of those guys just they don't want to be there forever. They have things to do. They come out. I don't believe they're getting paid, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't put it up because maybe he doesn't remember, or maybe they don't want to spend time with all the questions, stuff like that. So yeah, you get one question. So this is gonna be my video. So this is going to be the question I am going to post tonight for myself, to the Spawncast if they put it up. So my question is this: why does the internet feel that if you're a Nintendo fan, you cannot be critical of Nintendo? So my point of this video that I'm making is to explain my feelings on this question. And then, if you see tonight the show, you'll see their answers. Sometimes they just read the question and go, yes, no, maybe, and that's it, move on. Sometimes they're like, that's a stupid question. Sometimes they get into a little bit of discussion. So my point is that I feel that a lot of YouTube channels are, especially now, are gaining traction for basically being overly negative on Nintendo specifically. In the past, during the Switch 1 generation, you had a lot of channels that gained traction because they were overly positive about Nintendo channels. And those overly positive or really big channels were getting a lot of flack because they were criticizing Nintendo for the things that they've been doing with the Switch 2 launch and everything that's basically been going on with it. The fact that for a while we just didn't get any information and it was radio silence, and then once we got information, a lot of it was rumors. So there was speculation and people are like, I don't like this. And then once people saw the prices and stuff like that, and the fact that, Nintendo hasn't basically given solid dates for a lot of the games they've still announced. And then the release of some of these games, I mean, Dragon Drive that I picked up, a lot of people were just like, why would you buy this game? It's there's nothing to it. It's stupid. It hurts your arms when you do it, blah blah blah, and it's stuff like, well, people want to try it, and that doesn't make them like, blind Nintendo fans. It's just like, well, it comes down to your financial situation. I had put a lot of money aside for the release of the new Switch. So when it came about, I have, a lot more, like when I make that decision, like, is this game worth it? Well, I have a lot of money that I've saved up and put aside to get games like that. So I took a chance on Dragon Drive. And I tried it once. And I mean, I tried the global test jam, and I was told that, hey, maybe just like, learn the controls and that'll be better. I said, okay, well, maybe I'm going to need more time than this, test jam that they did. So actually getting the game would make it better. But the thing is that the point of this is that there have been overly what I would call positive Nintendo channels that have been critical, and people just like are still going on. It's like I don't understand what a lot of people online want. I feel like they want you to basically grab your pitchforks literally and go down to the Nintendo headquarters and demand them to make all these changes. And it's just like, first off, that's not how it works. Like, I understand the whole idea of vote with your wallet. So if you're buying something like Dragon Drive, which isn't great, it's sending Nintendo that message of, hey, if you put out this horrible game, we'll still buy it. But buying a game is not the only metric that Nintendo goes by. They also have play times, and especially a game that you have to be connected to the internet basically to play. Your play times are being logged, and if Nintendo sees that people bought the game and they're basically now not playing the game and engaging with it, Nintendo's going to be like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do that. Because as much as Nintendo, people are like, Nintendo's, listen, they're a corporation, they want money. But they also want you to enjoy their products. Because they know that, as a fan, for me, now that I've bought Dragon Drive and I don't enjoy it, I'm pretty much getting to the point where, like, my finances are more limited again because I used up. Obviously the $20 wasn't just what I saved up, but it was spillover. But I'm having to be a little more critical of the releases. So like with Kirby Air Riders, I said to myself, I got Mario Kart. What do I need another racing game? But when I saw that presentation from Sakurai, I'm like, well, it looks good. So the point of this video is that I don't understand why the internet feels that you have to like completely like hate on a corporation. Yeah, they may be doing bad things and you can be critical, but I feel that you could still be critical of them and buy their products. Like, yes, obviously, if you're buying all their stuff, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is what you want. But they also judge playtimes, and they do look at social media. So if they see people that are not buying the games, obviously that tells them, well, these people don't want it at all. But if they see people who are supporting the games and then telling Nintendo, like let's say like with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the Starcrossed, the DLC that they just put out. Apparently that DLC is only 3 hours. Now, obviously, if your complaint is that it's not long enough, then that just sends the message to Nintendo that, hey, I want more Kirby. I like this game. I like what you've done. I want more of this. But, if it's something like with Mario Party Jamboree and the TV edition, the Switch 2 edition, and people are saying like, why did you split it off? And then, you made it that, well, number one, you can only play the main game in Jamboree TV online with people, but like the roller coaster thing, I understand why that is, because you need people to be in sync, and if their internets aren't correct, what you're shooting at and they're shooting at may not be the same thing on the roller coaster ride. So you need people to be in sync, and that is a problem with people's internet. So I understand why that's not there, and maybe some of the other features why you can't play those online and it's only local that you could do it. But a lot of people picked that up and they felt like, oh, I'm going to be able to play this. And that's just bad communication on Nintendo. And you're kind of not going to know about that until you purchase it and then you find it. And that's where, like I said, the play times is what helps Nintendo, because if they see no one is playing certain modes that they put in, they maybe they'll put a survey out and say, well, why are you not playing this mode? And then people in the survey can tell them, well, I only have people online to play with, and you didn't offer that. The first Mario Party that they put on the Switch One, that one didn't have really, I believe, online play with everything, or they added online play like a year later. And when they did, the game had a resurgence. And then the complaint from people was, oh, well, I have to use my Joy-Cons with motion controls, and I don't like that. So then they brought another game that didn't use or didn't require only, Joy-Con motion controls, which was, I think that was Superstars, the second Mario Party game on the Switch. So, I mean, I know I'm going into my reasons. I'm basically trying to justify why I've purchased things, but I'm trying to show that even though I'm supporting Nintendo, which I'm a fan, I could still be critical of them. I understand it sends a bigger message when you just outright don't purchase their items, and then they're like, oh, well, it's not, you're not buying it, so you must not like it. Hold on. What? I can't hear you. Oh boy. Yeah. So, um, you can still purchase things and not be a fan of them. So that's what I'm trying to say. I feel that you can, but I feel like the internet and a lot of social media and a lot of the complaints are, they're going in on a lot of these positive Nintendo channels and like giving them, flack for it. And it's just like, well, you can still be positive for Nintendo and, even put a good spin on it, because listen, you want to feel good about the thing that you're supporting. So people are going to gravitate towards even maybe a ridiculous reason, but a reason that supports that, hey, Nintendo isn't really the bad guy. We still love them. But that doesn't mean that people aren't still being critical. They're just not being overly critical, what I would call, which is just outright saying, I'm not getting a Switch 2. I'm not buying these new games. I'm not this. I'm like, you don't have to do that to be critical. And the internet, I feel, is going in on a lot of these content creators and just acting like, well, why are you supporting this? And I don't know. I see that kind of stuff and I just don't get it. And I know, like, as a content creator also, you shouldn't really worry about that kind of stuff. Just make your content and do your thing. There's always going to be people that don't agree with you, and that's okay. You can not agree with someone, but I'm just saying that I don't think that is, something that I would do. It's kind of like if someone has, a positive or negative opinion on something, I kind of just want to hear that, to hear what their reasoning is, because I don't have everything, down packed. I'm not right on everything. I'm not right on a lot of things, but I feel that I learn by listening to other sides and sides that don't agree with me. And I guess that's where I kind of don't understand a lot of the, basically bombarding online of people to attack people and say, oh, well, you're a fanboy, you're this, you're that. It's just like, why? Why would you do that? Just leave people be. So yeah, I don't know if I answered my own question with my own reasoning. I kind of just started defending myself because I've been overly positive of Nintendo, And I've been watching a lot of channels that basically are not as positive because I guess that's what YouTube is recommending. And I've been checking out some of these videos, and I get the points that they're giving, but I don't agree because I also feel that, like, you could boycott stuff, but if you're going to eventually play it, time is one resource that you will never get back. Once time is done, you can't go back in time. So if you're not playing stuff right now when it comes out, then when you want to do it later, there's going to be other stuff that's going to come out that you're going to want to do. And then you're not going to be able to get to that thing that you could have did before. So my advice to you, if you're watching this video, is that if you're thinking of protesting something, if you're going to be maybe interested in getting it later on, obviously if it runs horribly, a game, and you can't play it because it's just, not working correctly, then obviously you can't play it now. But if you could play something now, play it now and get to it now, because later on, you may not have time for it because something else may come out that you want to play and support. So yeah, that is the point of my video. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. One of my comments I recently got was that they said that basically I talked for a bunch of minutes and didn't even get to the topic of the title of my video. And you know what? Yes, I do ramble on. And I try to keep my videos under a certain amount of time. But if I don't get to the topic, I apologize. If you want, I can maybe clarify in the comment section if you want me to, and I see your comment. So also hit the bell notification to know when my videos come out. And you have a great rest of your day. Later.